When you talk about renewable energy, on one side it needs to be safe, and on the other side it needs to be reliable in the operation. And this is a typical field of a testing, inspection and certification body. This is what we are doing. DEKRA is doing the testing of batteries, and by doing the testing we simulate certain conditions and can ensure that the batteries are safe and nothing will happen. We are quite active. We have 2 battery laboratories, so one in Guangzhou, and we just opened 2 days ago another one in Shanghai. Now the other one is solar. You want to make sure that they operate reliably, and not just only for 5 years, for 10 years, they need to work for 20 years. And you want to make sure that the climate conditions will not have an effect on the reliability operation. And here we also have been very active. We just opened in November a solar laboratory for doing the testing in Shanghai. Here I would subdivide the technologies in 3 core technologies. So one is renewable energy produced by wind energy. Another one is renewable energy produced by solar power. And then the other criteria is not so much renewable energy production, but it's the storage of the energy. I had been a few months ago in Shanghai, and I was surprised about the number of wind turbines that you can see in the open fields. So it's amazing. And if you just look at the figures, China is leading in terms of technology and leading in terms of installation of renewable energy. The industry cannot change from one day to the other. You cannot ask the company to be tomorrow carbon neutral. But what you need to do is you need to assess the carbon emission of a company that need to be independently assessed. And this is something that needs to be done. In regard to carbon trading, again, that is a very effective tool. But the point is also there are yet many trading places, and I think the ultimate solution should be then to have them operating internationally. I understand that the first step should be to have it domestic, to have it under control. But when you think about a carbon trading scheme, if you have a global scheme, the cost to create credits in another country may be much lower than, for example, in China. So the whole system could be much more effective and much more useful if it would be globally. I followed the event over years, and it's an excellent event. It's not so much directly about business, but it's learning about each other, learning about the capacity of China. And for us as a TIC provider, it's very important to be present there and to speak with companies, with importers, and to see the trends in the market. And also for the next one, it's also important how the industry, how we all will change due to the pandemic. I just mentioned before that China is leading, meanwhile, in the number of technologies, electric vehicle, renewable, artificial intelligence, digitization. These are very important topics for us also as a service provider, so we have to stay close to these topics, and we want to learn from China. So this is one thing. But then the other thing is China, with this huge market, is so important for DEKRA. And we have done so over the last year. We have invested heavily. We have invested also just in the new areas that I just talked about. And we need to connect this better to our European head offices or to our European affiliates, not just only to bring technology to China, but also to learn from China and bring technology back to Europe.